Okay, Haters Back Off Season 2 came out. I really enjoyed Season 1. I thought it was some of the best written and best performed original comedy that I've seen for a long time. Season 2 is as good as, if not better, than the first season. First of all, it's incredibly well written. Considering the character Miranda is just a YouTube creation, and you would think wouldn't have the steam to support one series, let alone two, of a TV show, this is written in a way that is incredibly clever, doesn't feel overwritten like so many American sitcoms do, and manages to get across real feelings of not just comedy, but drama and despair and emotion every single episode. There's not one episode that feels flat in this series. And again, that writing is brought up a level by the acting. I mean, to think you've got actors that predominantly work in comedy vehicles and could just end up being silly, particularly someone like Steve Little, they really managed to get across a full range of human emotion, and it really is quite funny at times, quite sad at times, and quite touching at times. And obviously, because the show is about, and the main person you would focus on for the acting is Miranda, or Colleen Ballinger, and she is really, really good at portraying proper emotions and getting them across on screen. Considering her character is such a caricature, the way some of the scenes play out, and the way she acts, just through her facial expressions and her eyes and her body language, is really, really powerful, and you feel genuinely upset and sorry for it in certain scenes. But also the other characters as well. They're all incredibly well acted, and they all work together. There isn't a weak spot in the cast whatsoever. This series carries on straight after the last one, where everyone had abandoned Miranda because she pushed them away on her quest to fame. And what's good is that whilst they bring them back in relatively quickly, all the characters haven't forgotten or forgiven anything. They're back for real reasons, and all the relationships have changed from the first series, even though Miranda would like them to come back to what they were. All the characters also have their own individual arcs and stories, and that makes it feel like a more fulfilling show. Considering these episodes are only like 25 to 30 minutes long, it's surprising they can get so much in, because it's an 8-episode series. The mother and Uncle Jim, how their characters develop along the way. I can't say any more because it will surprise it, but there's certain things you learn about their relationship that I had taken for granted, and then found out that I didn't quite have it right. And then the sister as well, Emily, she, towards the end of the series, well, they break her, basically. And you also get to see Miranda's dad, who, depending on your point of view, is either a total arsehole, or, as per his speech at the very end of the series, it hits the nail on the head as far as the character of Miranda is concerned. Definitely worth watching. This kind of comedy reminds me of classic British comedy, and I'm not saying we can't produce shit as well, because we do, but when I think of American comedy, I tend to think of sort of set up gag, ha ha ha, set up gag, ha ha ha, and it's really overwritten with like teams of 12 writers in a room all grinding down each gag as best they can, like Friends. Whereas this, when I say British comedy, I mean sort of like Only Fools and Horses, where the comedy comes out of the tragedy of the situation, where people are trying and they're living relatively normal lives, or they're in relatively normal situations, and they're struggling, and the comedy comes out of their despair or their attempts to better themselves, and they don't always end up better at the end of it as a result. Whereas, say, in Friends, everything's just reset at the end because it's a sitcom, but there's no penalty for anything that occurs, whereas in this there is a real penalty to the characters for things they say or do, which really make the emotional weight of any decisions or any actions become increased massively, and it just makes the show more enjoyable. I hope they get a season 3. I'm not quite sure how they would take it on from here, bearing in mind how the very last shot of this this series ends, but I'll certainly be interested to see, because I really enjoy the characters, really enjoy the writing, and really enjoy the acting, and it's definitely worth watching. And it's one that could be quite happily binge watched. I think I watched it in 2 or 3 sessions, almost as if like they were little movies, and it's very enjoyable to watch it that way, because the story does carry on through.